Hi, welcome to podcast number 5 from Freelancing as a Photographer. It's the first time that I have a guest here, and that is my studio mate actually. And he is the founder of the Rocketship. He founded with more people, but right now he is the one present, so he's the one I'm gonna interview. And I thought it was interesting because he's very good at visual technology in things I had never seen. And it's somehow related to photography, but in very modern ways. Videography as well, but also he's very good at building communities through technology. Because sometimes I thought community sounds like something ancient that only happens among nature, but also technology can help to build such things. So let's ask him a few things. And so, Levi, what is your background?
So my background is game design originally, and from the background in game design came a more forced interest into IT, because I was young and I didn't have mountains of money for the right equipment, so I had to learn about computers to make them go faster, basically.
And I'm curious, how will your friends describe you in 3 words?
Creative, driven, and probably crazy. For one, yes.
That's a good mix. So, can you tell me what the Rocketship is for you?
The Rocketship started as more of an event-focused organization, but for me, it always had the potential to be a lot more than that. To be a community that connects people, and also be a community where people can experiment with, especially new art forms or art forms that they don't have experience with, where people from different styles can interact, people that normally would not have these options.
I love that you talk about the space for people to experiment. And yeah, I think people can try out things that they have never experienced. And what kind of disciplines do you mix together?
I always try to mix disciplines with my own background. So I'm heavily technologically infused. So that means the cutting edge of things. So AI, 3D printers, laser cutters, kind of the newer technologies. But I always try to meet people that do not have that technological background and do something completely different from what I do, and think completely different. Because that way you can kind of challenge each other, and create new things that neither of you would have been able to do without the other, really.
Oh, that's really beautiful. And why is this? Where does this feeling of wanting others to try things out come from, or why do you like sharing?
Well, I was taught as a kid, you should share your toys. I'm in a position where I have a lot of these toys. Often I don't always use them a lot. I just buy something because I think it's cool, play around with it. But then it sits around on a shelf collecting dust, and I rather have it be used by people, especially people that are talented. And if they don't have access to that, then perfect. Yeah, then I'm entertained, and they have access to new tools. So that's, yeah, win-win.
And that's really beautiful, and you certainly have a lot of toys. If you could see the studio, there are like shelves and shelves of a lot of different screens and buttons and massive projections, and whatever you need is like, oh yeah, I have a tool for this very very specific thing. And like, why do you ever have that? It's like, it's very very beautiful to see this mix. And Levi, how do you think technology can bring people together?
Well, you can already see it with social media. It can definitely bring people together, although, of course, it can also definitely create rifts and keep people apart. But if you do focus on things like Facebook, where you can have groups, you can meet up, you can absolutely build communities. But it is up to the people to do that and use social media for that, of course. And that is just one thing. Just something as simple as a camera has been around for a long time, but photographers are a very tight knit community. If you see someone walking around with a camera and you're a photographer, generally that's a good icebreaker, and it will kind of like start a conversation. Like, oh, what camera are you using? What lens? Things like that. And photography is already pretty old when it comes to technology. So.
And do you walk sometimes around with a camera, or mostly you shoot in the studio? And what things do you shoot?
I do sometimes walk around with a camera in public as well, but my shooting is more limited to the event sector, especially nightclubs, and it's more videography than photography. So there's slightly different principles at play. And especially in nightclubs, it's a challenging environment, lots of flashing lights, it's very dark, you can't generally add any extra lighting. So it's always a challenging environment, but it's fun, and I like that. But I do really like in the studio that I have full control over everything. I can turn the lights brighter if I need that for a good picture on the camera.
What is the main difference between videography and still photography?
I think just the ability to select a moment in time. That is what photography is. You can select one specific moment to convey a message. With videography, you need to make sure that happens a lot more frequent. So you often cannot be as picky. Also because it needs to continue. It needs to, if you shoot regular movies, make sense chronologically. People need to be wearing the same outfits, or injuries need to carry over from one scene to the next, things like that. So that definitely brings its own unique set of challenges.
Okay, and what is it about the videography that you do that you have 4 cameras and 4 projectors instead of one camera?
Well, it's very simple. I'm quite lazy, so in this case, instead of setting up or setting up a shoot and doing it multiple times, and I do a lot of shoots where I shoot DJ sets, so they are usually an hour long. That would mean if I want 4 angles, I would need 4 hours just to shoot it. If I have multiple cameras recording at the same time, in a video switcher, I can do everything at the same time. I can do it real time, and recording an hour of video, it will only take an hour. After that hour, it's done. It's edited to the point of this is ready for broadcast. And in theory, you can also just live stream this, and you can do it in real time. And it saves a lot of time. That is what it comes down to. Time savers.
Very efficient person. And I've seen that you're working with AI. How are you experiencing this new tool?
AI is a game changer in every sector. Not every sector has fully realized it, and not everyone has realized the implications AI is bringing or has already brought. But our world is about to change quite substantially due to these new tools and forms of automation. Sadly, that will involve a lot of people losing their jobs, and in this case, it's mostly creatives, and the creative sector is already not known for its great job security and protections for the workers. So that's something that will form problems in the future, or at least that's what I foresee.
And what is one thing that you use? How do you use the AI in your case?
We use AI in this case more for real-time purposes, so we try to push it in the realm of real time. So you point a camera at someone and you get an output of something else. In this case, our target is to resemble what you see. So an artist walks around on stage, we can point a camera at the artist, we take the image, transform it into an alien or a squid or a magician. You can make up whatever you want, and then that is output within milliseconds on the displays or the projectors where the artist is playing, so in the venue.
And this is mostly applied to music and entertainment, like you mentioned. That's more your field. But do you see this specific tool of the camera applying AI in someone else and transforming it into other fields? I don't know, medical field for some reason or any other field?
Yeah, that's a good question. AI is already being used in the medical field. I do already know certain companies that use these things for example, computer tomography when they're scanning for cancer, things like that. So it can already save people their lives. AI is not just there to take everyone's jobs. It can also save lives. It is a tool. It's just a very versatile tool, and like any tool, depends how you use it. So yeah.
And besides this, what are the newest technologies that you have heard of related to visuals?
Ooh, some of the newest technologies. Well, AI, of course, is a new tool. AI is very broad. There's literally new tools every day. So I have websites that keep track of all the new AIs. I read a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials and just videos from people who keep track of new AIs to kind of keep in the loop. But one of the biggest changes besides AI has been virtual production with Unreal Engine, using kind of game engine or game technology for video games. Like The Mandalorian used that really heavily, and that's, of course, that looks amazing. So there's very good cases for using that. And something called it's basically a point cloud, but it's a more advanced one. It's called Gaussian splatting. And it's a new way of capturing the 3D environment that deals with certain things really well, like transparency. Glass or metal used to be really difficult to capture with 3D scanning or similar technologies, but with Gaussian splatting that becomes a possibility now. So yeah.
So this point cloud that you mentioned could be used, for example, for real estate photography. I can imagine that will be handy, or how could this be applied?
So it's already used. You have a company called Matterport. They make 3D scanners specifically for the real estate market. And they also take photography. Now those elements can be combined in a higher resolution walkthrough, like you see on certain sites. But it's good enough to now also take a VR tour of it. You put on a VR headset and you just walk through the virtual house. So yeah.
It's really cool that you are so up to date with all those new tools. And getting out of the technology point and more about you, I'm really curious of what is your dream?
Just my dream? my dream for what?
I don't know. Like you seem to be building a lot of tools and a lot of people around you. And are you feel a goal, or you're just flowing?
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit easier to answer. What my goal is. My goal, at least with the Rocketship, is to support the creative community, and also help build it, and most importantly, have fun. I think that's very important in life, and especially also in art. You need to keep having fun. It shouldn't become a drag. It should not be forced. So yeah, that.
Okay. Thank you. Last question. Last question, and I'll let you go back to your work. Yeah. So one tip or one idea that you have for photographers to survive in the coming time that you can kind of foresee?
Learn AI. AI will be an indispensable part of any job going forward. So the sooner you get into it, the easier a lot of these transitions will be. I'm not saying you have to be an AI expert by next week, but you can learn the basics of what is AI really and also what is it not. In a couple of days, there's very informative and also fun YouTube videos about it that can explain all of these things in detail. So yeah, it does not require an expert to understand the tools, at least, that are now there or are in development and coming soon. So, yeah.
Even in documentary photography, and is it expensive to use AI?
It depends what expensive is. Often the cost of human labor, it can often not compete against AI, and especially things like upscaling or coloring or cleaning up an image, which is even for humans a very daunting and difficult task. AI can do it in seconds, and that can save you so much time. And also, it's just you can save on file sizes, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Levi. It's really nice to know that you're so sharing and kind and informed. And yeah, it's great that you support the creative industry in these ways. And also, thanks for the tip of learning AI. We will try. And well, thank you for your time.
Ciao, ciao.
Yes.